While Dragon's Dogma 2 promises a thrilling immersion into a fantasy world, not everything is as smooth as it seems at first glance. Despite ambitious attempts to create an engaging game universe, the game faces some challenges. Nevertheless, it's worth noting that the game's world is filled with mystery and danger, which can be exciting for those who are willing to overcome some of the gameplay flaws. Let's start with the fact that the original game, released back in 2012, left a rather mixed impression. It was strange, unfamiliar, but fascinating at the same time. It was expected to be improved and continued, and now we finally have it. The combat system of the game is one of its greatest strengths. The variety of classes and skills allows players to customize their playstyle to their preferences. New professions such as Mystic Spearman and Trickster give the game a fresh and diverse feel, adding variation to the gameplay. The combat system, although one of its strengths, is not without some challenges. The initial entry threshold can seem high, which may put some players off. Clumsy climbing can sometimes disrupt the immersion of the game world and create additional difficulty during battles. Additionally, some players may experience frame rate issues. There are a few dumb quests found in the game that can be perplexing. Still, despite these technical shortcomings, the battles in the game remain exciting, and the adrenaline fills every battle. Pawns, despite their usefulness, often find themselves in dangerous situations, which gives the game extra tension and excitement. Their deaths can be caused not only by enemies, but also by bad decisions or difficult battle conditions, which requires the player to be careful and think strategically. The plot of Dragon's Dogma 2 offers an exciting journey full of unexpected twists and turns and interesting characters. But despite the engaging main story, some side quests and characters could have been more deeply developed to give the game additional depth and emotional attachment. Pet companions add an element of tactics and strategy to the gameplay, which enriches the gameplay. They help in combat and when exploring the world, but their behavior can sometimes seem unpredictable or ineffective. One of the most appealing features of Dragon's Dogma 2 is the freedom of choice. You can ignore the main plot and explore the world as you wish. Quests can have multiple possible outcomes, which makes the gameplay more exciting and unpredictable. Nevertheless, some points may seem underdeveloped, which can cause some frustration. Yes, the truth is that your interaction with the game depends entirely on your own approach. It can be liberating, but perhaps also a little frustrating, depending on your perception and how you tune into the experience. The game offers a lot of moments, like in the quest to hunt for the Jadeite sphere that you have to uncover on your own, and when you do, it's truly amazing. This is certainly one of the great attractions of Dragon's Dogma 2. The game is also surprisingly frugal in its use of menus. It doesn't force you to spend a lot of time looking for the right things or exploring different interfaces. This allows you to focus on the most interesting parts of the game, such as battling monsters and exploring the world. That being said, despite the pros, the game can get a bit monotonous at times due to the constant onslaught of enemies and repetitive tasks. Some enemies or non-player characters can behave strangely, which creates some confusion, and some points in the game can seem quite difficult due to the lack of hints or explanations. It is important to keep in mind that Dragon's Dogma 2 is not a copy of Dark Souls, and this can be noticed right away. For example, there is no default dodge option, which changes the dynamics of the game significantly. Are you forced to climb on top of a monster to strike, or can you grab its leg and drop it? Physics plays a huge role, and it can both help and hinder combat, creating chaotic and frantic battles. While the world is full of wonders and amazing vistas, you'll have to do a lot of walking due to the limited fast travel options. Wagons and teleportation stones are all you have. Nevertheless, this provides the opportunity to explore beautiful landscapes, though it can get boring over long hikes. Newcomers will face a path full of challenges, but therein lies their opportunity to grow and develop. The lack of detailed tutorials and easy start forces the player to make their own decisions and find their own path. The game trusts the player and motivates them to overcome challenges. For those who are up for a challenge, it will be an exciting adventure. Despite some boring and clunky moments, it promises an exciting time. Being dissatisfied with some aspects of the game may make you want to return to it again and again, because each new dive reveals new facets of gameplay. Ultimately, Dragon's Dogma is a game that makes you think and encourages exploration, and that always deserves respect. While some moments may raise questions, the overall impression of the game remains positive, and it truly deserves your attention. As for the fantasy music on the title screen, everyone can have their own opinion, but the important thing is that it doesn't interrupt the positive impression of the game itself.